Welcome to The Author Show, where we feature new authors and books, from fiction to self-help and everything in between. You'll find it all at theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. And now let the show begin.
Hello and welcome back to the show. This is your host, Don McCauley. Today we're welcoming program author Jude Mercereau, and she is the author of What's So Funny, an autobiography of a professional schizophrenian, artist, singer, and public speaker. Before I bring in today's guest, a quick reminder that selected interviews are available on our iPhone app, which can be downloaded in the App Store, as well as on TV on the Roku channel and Amazon Fire TV. Our app name on all platforms is simply The Author Show. Jude, how are you?
I'm doing rather well, thank you. How are you, Don?
Good. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, in a little nutshell, I'm a crazy person. I have experienced the schizophrenian existence for many years, have learned to interpret the language of the mind to something that is changeable for other people to understand.
So tell us about your book.
This book is about the schizophrenian experience, myself having been diagnosed with schizophrenia, for people that do not have the connection to the inside mindscape of people that are suffering mental illness, so that they can understand the language involved, the dialogue that goes on while you are on a psych ward alone.
Now, who did you write your book for specifically? Who's your target audience?
I wrote my book to educate people, especially people that are studying mental illness in university, for high school students that need something to relate to in case they're wondering, am I going crazy? I wrote it for people that have had illness in the mental capacity for so long, but just needed someone to say, hey, we exist. We're as real as can be, and we matter.
So could you say there's any type of central message or perhaps underlying theme that you would say runs throughout your book?
Yes, there is. It's simply to make it better. I'm recalling a song by the Beatles, Hey Jude, to make it better for the people that are in boarding houses that probably never will come out to live in the general society, for people that want to make the illness better in terms of being psychiatrists, scientists, for people that work in the mental health field as counselors, as case managers, as people that work in hotlines for people that are at their wits' end and need some quick help over the phone by somebody, and generally just to make it better finally and for everybody.
So if you had to choose, what would you say is the single most important idea you're sharing in your book that's really going to add value to the reader's life?
My book is written for those that have poverty as a main theme. It runs through my book, the poverty of thought, poverty of speech. We don't seem to know how to express ourselves so that we come across as having a real chance at a conversation. So poverty of friends, poverty of future, poverty of diet, which is crucial. Poverty itself. Gandhi once said that poverty is the worst form of violence. And I think that applies.
Now, if you could compare your book with any book out there we might already be familiar with, which book would it be and why?
It would be The Catcher in the Rye, not for the reasons you'd imagine. I feel that the book is an accurate depiction, although it is not my story. It is a story. There is a way to de-escalate the crisis in your head. There is a way to find an answer. There is a way out, and it's not by shooting the neighborhood rock star. It's with a pen, and it's with writing. How you feel, why you're feeling it. Is this fair? ... We need to ask the actual rock star, how is their life going? Is it worth living?
So why, after being in recovery for 35 years, did you decide to come out and say, I am ill?
Because after such a long recovery, I've noticed that there really is two separate worlds that I'm living in. One is nearly gone, and that would be the schizophrenian side of my personality. The other is a compromise where I have decided to be as normal as possible, as boring as possible, so that I can be just like the normal people, the average people, workaday lives, trying to get through whatever problem presents itself for that day.
So why represent the average mental patient when nobody really wants to face the facts?
Well, they don't know the facts. And the idea is to inform them that, yes, I have a diagnosis. I'm also very creative. I can write. I can sing. I can draw. And the draw is to the potential for people to recover and to be on a continuum of good days, bad days. It's okay. Life goes on.
So in your opinion, when is someone finally better, and who decides that?
There's no way to know if you're completely well or if you're just imagining that you are. We all need to abide together. So I would say once you've been able to achieve a simple life with a reduced expectation of what you can accomplish and accept the fact that life is going to be tedious and boring and sometimes unnecessarily drawn out. You might think you're better, but the doctor might not, or your case manager might think that you're doing great, and then you have a breakdown.
What if you do have a breakdown?
If you do have a breakdown, then you need to stop yourself, reassess, take inventory. You need to adjust your medication, listen with a new ear to what's being said to you, and adjust accordingly, and try again. Pick up yourself and try once more at the impossible, which is perfect recovery.
So in your opinion, what's the cure for stress?
The cure for stress is quite simply more stress. I achieved a level quite a while ago that I realized that there's only a certain amount of stress that everybody can handle. And if you go beyond that point, you either break down or you laugh and accept the fact that you're under too much stress for yourself. And when that happens, you either never relapse again or you learn to stay within your limit.
So what's been your most rewarding experience since publishing your book?
The best thing that's happened to me yet is I have been invited by a major university in Toronto, Canada, where I'm from. They want me to speak to resident psychiatrists about the mental illness experience and their job, their responsibility to take the responsibility for people that are on the street, that have matted hair and are babbling incoherently, being insulted and laughed at by people that are cruelly normal. And it's their responsibility as young doctors to help these people. In Canada, we have incredible medications and treatments, but we also have the right to live on the street or in a tent if we're lucky.
Now, did your environment or upbringing play any major role in your writing?
Yes, indeed, it did. My father was a prodigious Jamaican with perfect English and perfect nails. His fingernails were magnificent. My mother was hardworking, extremely religious, and had the uncanny ability to laugh while not even betraying a smile. I learned from the two of them that there are different ways of expression and that the best advantage to have would be complete originality and the ability to not panic.
So how would you describe your writing style?
Oh, my style is intended to entertain. I try to use colorful language, colorful combinations of words. I try to implement humor when necessary, to record the facts, but hide them so that the reader can challenge their own selves to understand the person that is being challenged by mental illness.
What part of your book would you say you personally like best?
My favorite chapter is actually the chapter that dealt with instances in my young life where I was wrong, and I knew it. I was errant and I was mistaken, but I insisted on proving myself to be right, and that resulted in a broken arm and a lot less chocolate than I would have liked to have eaten. For that reason, to laugh at myself, hopefully, will bring others to laugh at the silliness that's involved in the lighter side of somebody with a mental illness.
So other than selling your book, of course, is there anything else you hope to accomplish with it?
I think I've succeeded already. The book has been written. It's there. It's something that I've actually taken the time to read. For that, I think I've succeeded. It never occurred to me until about a day and a half ago, I need to read my own book. I'd written it for years. I had sounded off with many people what they thought of what I was writing. I cropped some photographs of my art. I put as much in as I could. And then I finally read the book, which is kind of the ultimate success.
So in your opinion, who should buy your book?
People that want to learn an alternate way of understanding those who are challenged with day-to-day life and end up living on the street, alone, unreachable, for family members that are at their wits' end about their relatives, for young doctors who want to have an edge on treatments and insight, for the people themselves with schizophrenia, that there is a place for them to live. It's called Schizophrenia Land. And hopefully we all land at the same destination.
Do you have a website?
cottagestudio.ca and bridgeross.com.
Could you spell your name for us, please?
Yes, I can. It's JUDEMERSEREAU.
This has been just great. Our guest today has been Jude Mercereau, and she is the author of What's So Funny, an autobiography of a professional schizophrenian artist, singer, and public speaker. Jude, thanks very much for being with us today.
Well, thank you, Don, and have a great day.
This is Don McCauley, wrapping up another edition of The Author Show. Go out there, buy the book today, and please share this interview with your friends so that they too have the opportunity to discover our guests and their work. The Author Show can be accessed at any time at theauthorshow.com. Selected interviews can also be found on major platforms like Amazon Fire TV, the Roku channel, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and many more. And whether you're an author who would like to be featured or a reader in search of new books to read, The Author Show is a great place to start. Check us daily as we continue to introduce wonderful authors of very interesting books on The Author Show.